Thank you. You can go ahead and work out the camera if you want, because I'm ready.
All right.
Yes. Yep. For about 3 years. Okay. So. For a little while. Should be bad. Hi. How are you? I'm good. How's your first? Do you? How are you? Maybe use that as a story where. Yeah. He named the CEO.
I should have asked. No, I appreciate y'all. Yeah. That's all shoes out. Well, I'm glad you did. And so, good to see you. Yes, ma'am. I'm doing good. So, great day. Well, I like birthday. I have a free. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I take somebody. And going back to the thing before, I think yes. And I put on my books 15 minutes. But also, I think yeah, no.
Load on your
Okay. So we have
Yes, right.
You're fine. You're in, but it's okay. I'm a vote for it. What's it going Oh, yeah. I'm gonna keep you in my heart.
Good evening. My name is Wesley Stokes. I'm the president of the Washington County Think Tank for Community Solutions. And I want to thank all of you for your attendance here tonight. For the candidates, I tip my hat to you. Those of you that are putting your life, your time up for people to I always call it constructive criticism as you walk into that life as an elected official. What we do thank you all for following, because this is what it takes. This is what it takes. And to the citizens of Plymouth, the decision is yours. I do not live in Plymouth, so I have no hat in this race. But the think tank has been doing this since about 2016. We've been doing it. We've had Board of Education, Board of Commissioners, the towns as well. And we even sometimes try to get district candidates down as well. So a couple of things we're going to do, and I just want to thank for those of you who have come to the think tank giving these candidates forum before. You notice we didn't have anything. We had water for the candidates, and that was about it. Because the Washington County Think Tank is not a 501(c)(3). It is not funded. When we get events like this, we have to go to the members, and the members contribute. But I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that today, to help with this event, that you can see there's pizza over there, water, and as soon as the gloves get here, you all are free to get food as we go on with the event. And that only happened because of collaboration between the Toro County CDC, Black Voters Matter, and the entity Enterprise that helped fund tonight's event. And I want to thank all of them for their contributions. So if you all would stand, the funders, I'm sorry. So now, if you all want to help and introduce yourselves, please.
Good evening. I am Mavis Hill, Executive Director of Carroll County Community Development Corporation that serves primarily Carroll County, Washington County through our various programs, events like this, business development, entrepreneurship, leadership, health and wellness education.
Good evening. I'm Moses Matthews, President of the Entity Enterprise. That's a 501(c)(3) in Williamston, North Carolina. Our focus has been for the last 2 decades of trying to impact landlord prevention in a positive way in the Black community across the region, across the state of North Carolina.
And all three of the organizations I want to make sure that this is perfectly clear. All three of the organizations are nonprofit. So we're not pulling for anybody. None of us would be voting in this election. So we just want to educate the community. That is one of our missions, of making sure that our community is educated. So we're going to, if you looked at the agenda, you can see that the ground rules will be next. But what we're going to do now is we're going to ask Robert Cody, who is chairman of our Board of Elections, if he would come and give us an update on early voting and the voting rules.
I want to thank Western State for me a chance to step up here and tell you when you vote. It's kind of tough to get here because, you know, since I'm retired, I don't do anything in the morning. In the afternoon, I continue doing that. And then at night, I rest. So I should be resting. But early voting, you know, you're going to have a lot of days to go vote. Okay? And it's going to be at Washington County Board of Elections, which is at 37 East Mill Pond Road in Roanoke. That's the old Washington County Middle School, the high school. It'll start this Thursday now, 8:30 to 5 o'clock, and then Friday, same time. On Monday of the 20th, all through the week. And Monday, October 27th to the 31st, 8:30 to 5. Now, they'll have one Saturday. That'll be Saturday, November the 1st. And that'll be from 8 o'clock to 3. So you got plenty of chances to vote. Plenty of time. On election day, that's going to be from 6:30 to 7:30 on November the 4th. All right. And you're going to have some polling places here. You got 5. Lee's Mill. That's where the early voting is. All right. That's the exact same place. You got Plymouth 1, which is the First Christian Church, East Main Street. You got Plymouth 2, which is the Plymouth Housing Authority. And that'll be, you'll vote, if you're in Plymouth 3, you'll vote at Victory Christian Fellowship. And in Creswell, you'll be at Scuppernong at the Creswell High School. All right, now, just want to tell you about one thing. Doris told me to make sure that I brought this up. It's called repair of vote letter. Now, if you don't know what that is, if you were sent a letter sometime during the summer asking for your driver's license and the last 4 digits of your Social Security number, and you did not take care of this, you will vote a provisional ballot. Now, most of the 231 people that were sent this letter in Washington County have already taken care of it with Dora. Had a meeting yesterday, and majority of them already taken care of it. But for some reason, you didn't, or a friend didn't, don't get upset that you have to do a provisional ballot. All that is you'll fill it out exactly like you put in the machine, except you'll give it to one of the authorities that are working there, and they'll put it in an envelope. And then it goes in front of the Board of Elections, which are myself and 4 other people. And we usually decide, you know, and they'll get the driver's license that day too, which will help. And most of the time, that's how we'll go ahead and just say, okay, it's good, it's good. You got any questions for me? Yes, sir.
I believe you said Ward. Isn't that correct?
Okay, right here, Plymouth 2 is the Plymouth Housing Authority.
That should be 3. That should be 3.
That'd be 3.
That should be
Okay.
1 3.
I wrote that down right from door, but it could be wrong. Yes, sir.
This is Ward 3 is my understanding
Okay.
from the past. Someone help us here.
Yes.
I think, looks like him,
Yes.
Ward 3 votes here at the housing.
Okay, I'll double check that and make sure that,
And Ward 2,
Victory Christian.
Fellowship.
okay, maybe I copied it wrong, but
Is that the church on
32.
Like going to Washington?
Yeah.
Yes, 518, right down 32. Yes, sir.
What brings some of the confusion with that, and all he does every cycle, is county government, county elections, state, federal elections are based on a precinct district.
Correct.
And our municipal elections are based on a ward system. So Ward 1 is basically everything east of Highway, Washington Street, kind of, sort of, and there's some car lines, so they need to be aware of that. And then pretty much everything south of Highway 64 is Ward 2, and everything west of Highway, Washington Street is Ward 3. But again, there's carve outs, so you may be a block over or half a street over, and it goes down the middle of the street in some cases. So people need to know what district they're in, what ward they're actually in.
Okay.
But yeah, that helpful, we'll have it for you.
Thank you for your, correction there. And I'll recheck that, Mark, make sure that I'm double right. I just copied right off what Dora sent me. But, this will be okay. And I understand what you're saying there. And, we'll go with that. Anybody, any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
You said, for people that don't know what ward they're in, where would they find that information?
Call the Board of Elections,
Okay.
and that is, Dora Bailey, and ask her. What? She was right on that. Somebody was gonna ask you that question. Any more? All right. Listen, I'll try to be here again tomorrow night.
Okay.
See if I can rearrange my babysitting service.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Bring the baby.
Well. Oh, you got to keep on one way. All right, well, I'm gonna double check that. Thank you, Mark. I'll get it right. All right, thank you.
Yes.
All right, before we get on with the agenda, I want to thank, because I'll be sitting down, but I want to thank Lieutenant Simpson for the explorers being here today. This was last minute. I called her today, and she has come through for us with the explorers. So once they get situated, you all can go get something to get your pizza or something to drink if you want. And I want to thank Coach Cody as well, and our timekeeper for tonight, Mary Cherry. She will be keeping our time, right? Sound there, so they'll know who's telling them. Okay, thank you so much. That's my classmate. So next on the agenda, we will have Mr. Moses Matthews, who will present our moderator for the evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I've already seen how attentive you all are when Wesley Act, folks stand up, everyone stood up quickly. And of course, we've had a teachable moment just recently on precinct ward, and et cetera. So now I'm going to give you some information on our facilitator or moderator. Patricia Smith is a native of Williamson, North Carolina, and the mother of 4 successful, productive children. She graduated from the former Williamson High School in Williamson, North Carolina in 1984. During her high school tenure, she developed a passion for numbers and assisting people with finances. She later continued to use that passion to pursue a career in the accounting field, in order to develop the educational skills needed to perform properly in her endeavors. She attended both Virginia Commonwealth and Kirkland University. She continued to obtain annual continuing education and hold multiple degrees and certification in legal assisting, accounting, and auditing. In 1994, she relocated back to North Carolina and started P&N Legal Services in downtown Williamson, where she contracted out legal assisting and performed accounting and bookkeeping services. While assisting clients with their financial, family, and estate needs, it gave her the push to become more active in the community. In 1995, she was appointed to serve on the Martin County Human Relations Board for 2 terms, reporting to Martin County Commissioners. She was also an active member of the NAACP under the tutelage of the then President, Mr. George Buck White. In 1998, she merged with her sisters to start the first Jackson Hewitt tax service in Williamston, North Carolina. In 2000, she decided to branch back out on her own under the name of Professional Financial Solutions. She later opened additional offices in Ahoskie, Plymouth, Robinsonville, and Charleston, South Carolina, where they now not only offered accounting services, but also offered RIS, debit resolution, and business startup. In 2006, she was appointed to serve on the former Martin Community Action Executive Board. In 2013, she was designated to serve as treasurer of the board. She served diligently until she resigned in 2015. Because Patricia has a zeal to serve her community and surrounding areas, she continued to remain active. Among her multiple activities, she presently serves as the treasurer of the Martin County Democratic Party, where the organization informs, educates, and assists the community of their voting rights, location, and opportunities. I want to present to you all Ms. Patricia Smith.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I didn't notice a prayer on our agenda, but I would like to offer up a prayer at this time. I believe that we should do all business decent and in order. Amen.
Amen.
So if we could just take a brief moment and just offer up a prayer quickly, and then I guess we're going to ask the mayoral candidates to come. And then you're going to have a break and have the council. Okay. All right, let's offer up a prayer right quick. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come together on tonight, giving you, first of all, thanks for allowing us to come. And Father, as we go into this session of introducing, informing, and educating the people on the candidates tonight, God, we ask that you come into the midst. And God, allow us to do things decent and in order. Father, we ask that you will put us all on one accord and there be no controversies. God, we thank you for what you've already done and what you're about to do. And we give you all the praise and all the honor because it belongs to you. In Jesus' name, we do pray. Amen. And so now we're going to ask the candidates for mayor if they will come to the front and have a seat at the table. Okay, so I think we're going to just take a break. They're coming to the table. We're going to take a break and let somebody pizza and drink from over here before we get started.
I hope you all here. This side, please come with this.
Hey, you see, hope you want.
Yes, I just did. You said,
Thanks.
No, my name.
I love that. I love I had the insight. You brother talk about it very nice. So how many? Oh.
Okay, the other side. Come on, folks, don't be ashamed.
I can't understand. It didn't help you when you had your knees replaced. Yeah. I'll get it on there. Look, it needs to be on there before. You know, such a name to but when we went to those state conventions, he made sure he took me to. And when somebody come up and say, hey, this is my information. Was he and I
Oh, yeah. That's why wonderful. Because all of you
Okay, so, okay, so if everyone has been served, we're gonna introduce the mayor candidates for tonight, and we'll go over the ground rules. Okay, we have Mr. Mark Sexton and Mr. Brian Rock. Miss Crystal Davis is unable to be here tonight. She's out sick. So we're gonna move forward with the ones that we have. I would also like to state that if any of you have phone and Facebooks in here, if you can tell your friends to tune in at with Cornelius Butch Dancy, then they'll be able to see and hear what's going on tonight. That's Cornelius, Curmilus, Butch Dancy, and that's the Facebook page.
And excuse me, I'm gonna put it on YouTube before I leave here. But right now it's just on Facebook.
They're not able to hear in the back, but they're waving their hands.
You can just repeat what you said.
Okay. So if you have some Facebook friends that you can tune into or tag into, you can have them go to Cornelius Butch Dancy's page, and they can see and hear live. His first name is spelled C as in cat, U, R as in Robert, M as in Mary, I, L as in Larry, U, S as in Sam. Butch Dancy, D as in David, A, N as in Nancy, C as in cat, Y as in young. On the Facebook. And he stated that it will also be on YouTube. Okay, so now we're going to set some ground rules. The central ground rules for a candidate forum are designed to ensure fairness, transparency, and non-partisan atmosphere for both candidates and the audience. These guidelines help maintain order and promote informative discussions throughout the event. All candidates for a given office were invited. Forum and question procedures. Equal time must be given to each candidate to respond to questions, with a timekeeper signaling time. And our timekeeper is right here. A moderator, myself, will guide the questions and answer section, ensuring a smooth flow. Let's promote a positive atmosphere. Candidates will be allowed to speak without interruption, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. All candidates will receive the same thoughtful questions, allow room for follow-ups while maintaining fairness and response times. Each candidate will have 3 minutes for their opening statement, 3 minutes for their answers, and 3 minutes for their closing remarks. We encourage the audience to show respect and patience throughout the event. Let's make it an excellent experience for everyone. Any questions?
Can the town not afford microphones? This is not a town.
Well,
This is not a town.
It's not a- it's not a-
It would help with old people a lot.
yeah,
That's-
I don't think the town was responsible for that, but
No.
in any case, we apologize that we don't have any mics tonight. If you guys don't have it, let me know. Maybe I can bring some. All right. Any other questions? Okay, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna have 3 minutes to at least tell something for your opening statement. I'm not gonna meet either of you, so it'd be nice when you tell me who you are and what you do. And maybe a couple minutes of what you're here to offer. Okay, and then we'll get into the questions. Okay, so Mr. Mark Sexton, who are you?
I was born in Plymouth, North Carolina in 1959. I am 66 years old and I am retired. But a couple of years ago, I opened a Christian bookstore in downtown Plymouth and followed up with a little dry cleaner, satellite dry cleaners. And recently we opened a little deli right here downtown. I grew up in downtown Plymouth working at my grandmother's shoe store for 50 years, Latham Shoe Store. Is that it? I'm sorry. Okay. And so, yeah, I grew up on a farm outside of Plymouth. My brother, Bill Sexton, some of you may know him. He was a county commissioner for about 20 years. I have been pulled into this race because I was disgusted the way some developers were treated here in Plymouth by our town council and by the ineptness of our existing mayor to get results that would push the growth forward. And so I am determined to stay in this to the end, despite a lot of my own friends and family cautioning me about trying to unseat Roth. But then Miss Crystal, she's not here tonight, and she needs to respond to some of my criticism tonight. But I do love Plymouth. I love the people. I love African Americans. I have directed large music performances in my music education career. I have directed 100 kid Christmas programs with record attendance. And I've been around business my whole life, farm decisions, and I have a lot to learn, I'm sure, if I was to have the honor of being your mayor. but I want to pull together personalities of a new board that we will elect starting Thursday. And we must show up to vote. And I really hope and pray that the Lord will guide me tonight to answer the best I know how. But I am a product of Plymouth, North Carolina.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Ross.
Good evening. I'm going to stand up, if you don't mind. If I don't, you let me know too. I don't have any problem sitting, but my name is Brian Roth. I think pretty much everybody here knows who I am. I actually grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and went to the United States Navy and had an amazing career in the United States Navy. I've been around the world in both directions. I've been to I've actually had my feet on the ground in 13 foreign countries. I was off the coast of Beirut the summer the Marine barracks was blown up in the terrorist bombing in 1983. I spent most of my time off the coast of Iran when the Iranians were the bad guys the first time around back in the 1980s as far as foreign duty. I was transferred to Washington, D.C. and was developmental test coordinator on bomb, rocket, and missile programs. And several of those weapon systems are in service today that we were working on back in the early 1990s. I chose to make Plymouth my home, and I've been here now for almost 35 years. And the people here, our community, is amazing. It's like no place else that I've ever been. I've been to 47 of the 50 states. That's pretty amazing too. And I've lived in numerous places around the United States. We have something extremely unique. I don't have any criticisms tonight. I try not to have any criticisms at all at any time. We've got such an amazing future if we pull together. We've got a proven track record of economic development, which we'll hopefully talk about a little bit more as we go through this evening. As far as the sound system, we have a portable sound system, but we weren't asked to provide that. We will try to make sure that we have a sound system for tomorrow evening. Mr. Stokes is very aware of the concern there as well. He's been worried about it here for the last probably hour or longer, trying to pull something together. And in fact, we've tried to pull something in yet tonight, but it's probably not going to happen until late in the evening. But nonetheless, we have opportunity everywhere. This is a classic example of opportunity. The Maritime Museum, the marina across the street. We have been intimately involved from the very, very beginning of getting this facility up and running through North Carolina Department of Transportation grants, T21 infrastructure grants 25 years ago. This museum and these assets we have, park at the other end of town, the mini park in the center of town, Wilson Street, athletic and recreation area. All of these things are works in progress. They will continue after we're all actually dead and gone. Our grandchildren, our children, our grandchildren, and folks will take over that effort, and it will continue to develop them and make them good, productive uses for our community and the community in the future. Thank you.
Okay, so first question to you. Let me start with you, Mr. Ross.
You need to speak up, please.
The first question I'm going to ask Mr. Ross. What are your plans if you're elected for economic growth in the next 4 years? And what immediate actions can be implemented to achieve these visions? What are your plans for economic growth in the next 4 years if you're elected? And what immediate actions can be implemented to achieve that vision?
Outstanding question. Thank you very much for that question. Maybe we need to start with quantifying what's just happened in the last 24 months. One of the challenges that we have that I see in our community recurring on and on, is we don't give ourselves credit enough for the amazing accomplishments that we achieve. We don't do it in a vacuum. It's all of us. It's our churches. It's our families. It's our neighborhoods. It is town government. It's the business community. It's all of us collectively. We're all in this together. So we all deserve credit, good, bad, or indifferent, wherever we're going. But just in the last 24 months, I'm going to refresh everybody's memory. Dollar General Market has opened up. We were actually at one of their pilot stores. The Dollar General Market is a new concept for Dollar General Corporation. And when I spoke with them, they said, look, we're going to try this, and you're not the only one in our network. And I think they started with 20 or 30, I think it was 30 markets to see how they go. And they're collecting data right here on our store to see where they're going to go with this Dollar General Market program. Royal Farms, something that is really not spoken about, and we need to help get the word out. We have the DMV license plate office has been open for 2 months out there at the Dollar Tree Shopping Center. So if you don't know about it, you don't have to drive to Williamston anymore. You don't have to go to Windsor or over to Little Washington or Greenville, which I've done myself. We've got approximately, I think, 6 new businesses in downtown Plymouth that have opened here, actually just in the last few months, last few weeks. And they are outstanding. If you've not been in those, please, please, please come downtown and see what's going on with those. A lot of that credit, quite frankly, goes to our Plymouth Downtown Development Association, Town Council. We've got the market downtown. We got First Friday music concert. That's brought a lot of foot traffic and people downtown every month. And you see where that goes from here. We've got the new Washington County schools just opened up. Hard to believe, but it was just last winter. And then we've got numerous businesses that are coming. So I think, I'll mention those here in just a second if I don't run out of time. We have a very proven track record of economic development, but we don't give ourselves, as a community, enough credit. Street lighting, waterfront development, Highway 64 beautifications, state came in and put in trees out there. All of those types of things matter. Law enforcement matters. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sexton, I'm going to give you the same question. If you're elected, what are your plans for economic growth in the next 4 years? And what immediate actions can be implemented to achieve that vision?
Well, there's a new economic development director for Washington County named Kelly Chesson, and we need to work with him to bring in the countywide effort, and hopefully Plymouth would be a part of some of the county activities. Many people suggest a countywide water system. Our water system is 40 years old. Our sewage system is close to 50 years old. And they do a pretty good job of keeping it floating and going, but there's still a lot of problems. There's a lot of leakage in our water system. But how do we bring growth? We've got to get companies to come to Washington County and Plymouth so that they will settle here. And this is the most important decision that has to be dealt with a new, fresh board that is pro-business. The existing town council want to worry about their gentrification theology of how business hurts the poor in town. And they really believe in this, and they discriminated against a developer that had been successful building a restaurant downtown, Mr. Mandrin, and it's sad. A $5 million project was messed up because they wanted to put a 10% bond on this project. Somebody suggested to do that, but no, they didn't put a 10% bond on Royal Farms. But this existing town council needs to be shifted around a lot, and they need to be pro-business. That will help. But that's one project that did not happen. There's also a very nasty attitude toward the gentleman that has developed this downtown on Washington Street. He's been pushing against these same folks who don't want to talk to him, who have even called him a racist. And there may be litigation pending. But you see, we've got to have a board that believes in big things to happen. And there's never been a year like this year where the discussion has been so rampant online and social media. And yes, there's been some voices that have been nasty. But overall, there are people, for some reason, talking about the potential of Plymouth. I think Mayor Roth deserves some credit. The bypass has exploded because the traffic to the Outer Banks has doubled the last 7 or 8 years. It is, so we're going to see more development ahead on the Outer Banks, on the bypass. And the bypass should be important. But yet this board that we have, they're all excited about the game rooms that have popped out there.
Sorry. Okay, so I understand that you're introducing some of the things that are happening in the community and in the town of Plymouth. But my question was, what are your plans to make sure that these things get corrected? What type of vision do you have so that we can move forward in the town of Plymouth in a positive atmosphere?
Well, the new school is a great asset, and vocational education, I think they have a welding class out there now. That is good. But we need plumbers, we need electricians, we need carpenters, and a lot of kids are not going to college. So we need, by the time the school's in the 9th grade, I know the town doesn't control the school board, but we need to help them as they train future workers to help support the business structure that would come. Also, I'm announcing tonight that I am not against the community center that is trying to be planned for the old Roses building in downtown Plymouth. I've been talking to some of them, and as long as they got job training in there, we got to train people to be ready to take some jobs other than working at Little Caesars and service jobs. But we've got to get these grades up in the schools, and we've got to facilitate, help the school out with vocational education.
Okay, thank you. Question number 2. Not-for-profit organizations engage festivals, arts, and cultural events to educate residents and attract visitors to the county and its municipalities. How will you support these organizations that foster the arts and bring in visitors? How will you support them?
Well,
if you are elected.
Okay, well, we've already started working on it by me selling the old theater on Washington Street to Mr. Pittman, a great builder from Winston-Salem. And so there were a couple of other people that wanted to buy my old theater. But the reason why I like Wayne is I picked up that he wanted to renovate it. And he knew it was going to take $500,000 to fix up the old theater. I didn't have that kind of money, and I accepted it because I believe that this developer, which has been sort of disrespected by the existing town board, that he's going to get it done. I have a background in movies, and we wanted to take the theater and show movies, and children's movies and children's classics. And I have that know-how, and many people want to see that happen. I think it'd be wonderful to see the town full of, but the theater also could be used with quintets and choral festivals, black gospel music shows. They could expand the things that they try to do on First Friday, but we need volunteerism my plan for Plymouth is to get 120 volunteers with 10 committees of 12 people. And the ones that want to work on the arts and the creative ideas, they would get together. And the ones that want to work on beautification, they'll get together. The ones that want to work on, the downtown community life center that they've envisioned in the old Roses, the town cannot just pay for all that renovation in that building. The town gave them $45,000, but it's going to take many more thousands of dollars to turn that place into a community center. But that could be a place for little music things or all kinds of activities. So I'm open to them if they can get a group together to really support that. But the arts are important, and I really envision a lot of music. I also want the building on 108 West Water Street to be renovated into some kind of amphitheater or a little theater that would seat 200 people. I know that's a grand vision, but I have been known to be a little bit too idealistic, being an artist myself. But it's possible. Don't tear down any more historic properties in downtown Plymouth. Let's try to renovate them.
Okay. So I present the same question to you.
All right.
How will you support these organizations that foster arts, and how will you bring in visitors?
That's a terrific lead-in question. Here, I'm just going to start with the Washington County Arts Council. The Washington County Arts Council, when I came here in 1993, was a thriving organization. They did dramatic readings, they had plays, they had arts, they had all visual arts, all of those things. And many of you may remember Miss Deborah Brooks. She was on the Plymouth Town Council. She was very involved with the arts. She actually ended up being the chairlady of the Washington County Arts Council for quite a few years. But not much had happened for quite a few years. She passed away, unfortunately, about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, almost 2 years ago. And so I said, well, we need to bring that back. And so when I looked into it, quite frankly, none of the state filings were up to date going back to the early teens, 20 teens years. And so I got involved. We now have, and I headed it up, I did the research and pulled together folks. We had approximately 50 people come down to the building down the street. We've met here, Tom Harrison's virology building as well. We created committees, and they have a board. Christy Bell, who works at the Department of Extension, has actually brought all of our paperwork up to federal standard for the 501c3. She was able to revive all of that. So that's just one example. We have numerous nonprofit organizations here in the community, and I think everybody here who's lived here for any length of time know how my wife and I are very, very involved. The Washington County Law Enforcement Explorer Post, we've got the cadets back here. Officer Stephanie Simpson is here with them tonight. She is a founding member. My wife is a founding member. I'm a founding member, along with retired Police Chief Willie Williams. We are the four people that created the Washington County Law Enforcement Explorer Post. Been in existence now for almost 18 years. I guess going on 18 years. My wife and I take them every year to Washington, D.C. It is not a vacation. It's 3 days. It is 100% career development. We've been to CIA headquarters. We're the only civilians who have ever been in the CIA headquarters building as a group. Come talk to me about it afterwards. It's amazing how that transpired. A lot of emails went back and forth with no name, phone number, or anything on the other side, back and forth to town hall to my office. Been to FBI Training Academy, CIA. As I said, we've been to the Australian Embassy. We met a couple of years ago. I set up for half a day with the Australian Embassy, and we met the Australian Ambassador. He's got half a day with our kids. Okay, so that's that. Last year, I took all of the kids from Washington County Public Schools and Carroll County Public Schools, all the Welling students up to Norfolk to the shipyard up there.
Okay, Here's my next question, because it seems like you guys both were focusing on the youth and what you have in place for the youth. This is not the question, but I remember a few years ago, we tried to bring a youth organization over here, and it was rejected because they wanted to keep the space for retail business. So now I'm going to ask you, with many communities struggling to retain youth talent, how would your policies promote job opportunities that encourage youth adults to stay and or return to these areas? How would your policies promote job opportunities that encourage young adults to either stay or return to these areas? Mr. Sexton.
Well, jobs is the hardest thing for these little towns when you're not real close to a university. But, you know, we do have a new school, and we've got to train them in vocational education to help find a career, perhaps in something other than going off away for college. I do believe that we're trying to focus on the river and our natural resources and tourism. I would love to see 3 beautiful hotels built on the river, bringing in hundreds of tourists. And, you know, you think about the numbers that are going out to the Outer Banks. If we could really build a couple of new hotels out on Highway 64 and to give people a chance to stay in the area a few extra days. The RV park, which took way too long to get approved because of the suspiciousness of some of our town council people. But these good folks have proceeded forward with the RV park that is going to have spaces for 40 or so people to spend a few days here. But we've got to keep working, and I hope that through volunteerism and through this coming town council, we can come up with more ideas, perhaps write letters to some of the big box companies. I don't know. But I do believe that Plymouth is ready to explode. And I think that's why so many people online have been into this election, because they got a pushback from some of the council people that wanted to kind of treat people suspiciously, and they slowed down the development. We need a council that is going to be pro-growth, and we need a mayor that is going to try to get their heads together on the same page to collaborate. And so there was a lack of collaboration. There was no sound in the meeting room, and people packed in there because they really wanted to see Plymouth grow. And so I believe that I can be a leader to get the ideas flowing and perhaps get more volunteers to work on this. We need more jobs. And, you know, the community college system, we need to see if they perhaps could bring some of their training here to town. But we've got to get more businesses here and more jobs for our children to keep them here.
And how would you plan to do that if you were elected?
How am I going to plan to get the jobs here? Well, it's like I said, it's not easy, but we're going to try to get some companies in here, maybe some computer companies that people could live here and work. We've got to keep focusing on tourism to get visitors here to support these downtown businesses. The businesses downtown, and let me tell you, they are struggling. It is not pretty. We are really having some slow days, and it's not just my situation. So we've got a long ways to go to get that thing built up. And the restaurants are struggling, and I take way too much of my retirement check to help do. We've got to keep working.
Okay, Mr. Ross, I'm asking the exact same question. What are your plans how do we plan on getting jobs here and having the youth to want to come back here? If they leave, how would you plan to get them back here?
Well, thank you for that. Wendy's, the truck stop and the car, gasoline place there on Trowbridge Road, Long Bridge Road out there was all constructed, all in a matter of a short couple of years. The Maritime Museum, Lighthouse were under construction at the same time. And then right after that, was the boardwalk improvements and the marina out there. There's a natural progression. Out here on Highway 64, Little Caesar's Pizza is getting ready to open up. They will open up approximately, I've been out there several times to talk to them. In December, Dunkin' Donuts is going to be there as well in the same building, but they will be separate. They'll have two separate entrances. Thomas's Barber Shop on Highway 32 South, they're under construction, building in another facility next to the current building. We've got the Washington County Emergency Management Facility, and we've got the massive truck stop out on Highway 64. You say those are counter jobs. Wait a minute. It's an entire economy. Because those folks who start, everybody starts somewhere. I was cutting grass. That's why I paid for my own private pilot license back when I was 16 years old. Because I was cutting grass. I had 13 regular customers. I did it for 10 years. All they started in upper elementary school, actually. But eventually you work your way up. And all those businesses have to have managers, shift supervisors, insurance carriers. They have to have grounds. They have to have a lot of things, infrastructure, buildings and ground, plumbing, roofers, painters, all those types of, all those trades start to come along. It's a natural progression. And we have it going on. Again, we cannot sell ourselves short by heading off in another direction. It's happening. Here's what happened after 2001. Nothing we did as a community. Everybody remember the housing meltdown, 2008, 2009? Everybody remember Downtown getting spun off the Warehouser and all of the hundreds and hundreds of jobs lost there? And how that set this community back? We ended up with a massive excess of housing here in our community. And so we have spent the last decade slowly, systematically reshaping the size of our housing stock to meet the demand. You know, I grew up outside of Detroit, grew up just outside of Detroit, Ann Arbor, Michigan. I watched Detroit. We're a mini Detroit. That's what happened here. Now, fast forward to where we are now. All of that is the time. All right.
Okay, so you both pretty much have told me what you already have in existence.
Oh.
But what I would like to hear from you is if you're elected to be or have the honor to serve Plymouth, North Carolina for the next 4 years, what would you do to help these youth? What would you do outside of building a big, nice school for them to attend? The recreation center, I don't know how productive that is over here, but what would you do for the youth to incorporate them into the community so that they will want to remain in Plymouth, North Carolina? Maybe even become business people here in Plymouth. What would you do to make it attractive to them so that they would want to stay here? Or if they have gone somewhere else, want to come back. 2 minutes. What would you do? Not what's already in existence, but what would you do?
Well, we want to support Parks and Recreation, which is already in place. And there's some wonderful people that are working with Parks and Recreation. And we want to keep those programs taken care of. We want to keep them busy. We want to inspire them. We want to inspire the kids. I would love to see like a once a week devotional, like a chapel at the high school. make it voluntary. I know it's kind of controversial with a lot of people, but if we got a lot of different ministers and made it optional to inspire the kids that they have a destiny and that they have a purpose. So we have to inspire them. And of course, being a Christian, as Brian Roth is, we want to have that spiritual thread here. We've got to do something about the drug situation in Plymouth. We have a lot of drugs being sold on our streets. And somehow law enforcement through the last several years is, some people want to legalize weed smoking. And so there's sort of this mixed view, even though it is still illegal. But to protect the kids, we've got to keep them from any kind of temptation the best we can. But we need strong families. We need families. And of course, 2 is better than 1. I'm sorry to say, but that's what the good book says. 2 is better than 1. We want strong families to help these kids. And we got to have volunteerism in the school system when it's appropriate. And people are, given that little test before they're able to volunteer, to make sure it's all up and up. And same way with the parks and recreation. But we want to encourage. When I was young, I was eager to work when I was 15, And one of my workers who's here tonight, his grandfather made him work in the hog pens when he went to visit them in the summer. And it was hard work. And now people would probably see that as abusive, but it's put a work ethic in him at a pretty young age. And this is going to help our young people. We get them busy, staying busy and active, and possibly with music education is also a great tool to help these kids. And maybe the new theater could have a music school to get more kids to learn an instrument. And when I taught school, one of my themes was music is great to have in your life. And so music can inspire these kids and get them hopefully to stick around Plymouth, but to be focused. And the scourge of the drugs, it is real. It's sad.
Just want to follow up on what I was saying just a minute ago about natural growth. Obviously, government plays an extremely important role in that. The development of Highway 64 in downtown both have been heavily supported, and I have been extremely proactively involved the last 25 years. Where we are currently coming out of the 2008-2009 housing meltdown, which actually destroyed the economy here in our community. People don't realize it, but I do, because I track it all the time, is we're now starting to see the same resurgence that we had when I came in 2001. And so that's going to continue. And they're going to need professional people. They're going to need entrepreneurs that you mentioned, that you asked about. They're going to need younger generation, the next generation of leaders to come up through the ranks to fill those positions of management and supervisors and owners of those businesses. So we have all of that. And again, it goes back to the water and sewer. Our water and sewer system, when I came in as mayor, I want to correct the record on that, was over 100 years old in Plymouth. Okay? So when I came in 2001, we were paving brand new asphalt over 100-year-old pipes. And they were going out within months because of the way that the trucks to go out and fix busted pipes. So we have put an end to that. Unfortunately, we just had to pave 7 streets because the streets were failing faster than we could replace the pipes. But so we are putting the infrastructure in place. We actually had a sewer moratorium where we're not allowed to, water and sewer moratorium where we're not allowed to extend services to new businesses. That's been lifted a decade ago because of our hard work. As far as keeping our young people here and having them return, law enforcement explorer post, I hope none of you get caught by Trooper Walker, but he is a graduate of our high school and also the law enforcement explorer post. We also have a young lady who has just finished the LET, and we have her on retainer to hire her as a Plymouth police officer. We have grown our police department from 3 to 6 officers just in the last probably 6 months or so. We've got tremendously strong officers. My background on substance abuse
When I was in the service, I was our command drug and alcohol program advisor for 175 officers and enlisted personnel. I've got training in that. I am not a counselor. I am not a certified counselor, but I have Navy training and exposure to drugs and alcohol, which is a non-starter in the military today. And we also, I created the Washington County Substance Abuse Coalition. We had the substance abuse symposiums at the Vernon James Center for many, many years. I run in East Carolina University with Elizabeth Montgomery, who was faculty there. She unfortunately had been transferred at that time. And of course, I was not in there because I was gapped for 2.5 years as well. So, and also the Plymouth Housing Authority was intimately involved with that as well. But that was my creation coming out of my military background. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to move forward into our closing remarks. And I would like for you guys to just pretty much summarize, if you're elected, what would be one of your first goals that you would want to accomplish in your office?
Well, we would be sworn in with the new board in December. And I would, with leadership, I would be telling my board, we are meeting, we're going to have some public meetings where the people can, I know December is a busy month, but we have to start immediately assessing the different departments. If one council person that has a specialty in law enforcement, maybe they could get working on that, some of the needs. We need to know how we proceed forward. But in December, it's a busy month, but I want to jump right into it. I want these 6 council persons to get to know each other. I don't want this division that has been so obvious. I don't want to see the absenteeism that has been ridiculous this year. They're not even showing up at their meetings. This is very bad. They'll wait and do something, accomplish maybe once a month. We have got so many things that I believe we want to move forward to. Now, I know you can't move so fast on certain things, but just like the offer that Mr. Pittman made in writing to help take care of this old building on 108 West Water Street, one of the council persons has delayed it because she wants to check it out. Well, she doesn't like the guy, evidently. And I know that other people have a chance to bid on it, but it's delaying caring for that building so that neighboring investors can continue on with their vision. That's just one little thing that has been put on the back burner, and it's one thing after the other. When downtown is starting to bloom, we need to be really moving forward fast upon the new, but everybody needs to vote for people, not based on race, but vote for people. And I know everybody in here, I'm not trying to talk down to you. I'm just saying that has been discussed, that so much of it seems to be racial in Plymouth. They tell me that because they say, you're going to split the white vote. That's what I've heard from not many. But the point is that when I get in charge of this new board, I'm going to mediate the different personalities, and we're going to come together and we're going to get some things done. And it's time for a change. No one owns the seat of mayor. And I know he has done some things, Mayor Roth, and I'm sad that Crystal couldn't come tonight. She's wanting his seat. And I reckon I want his seat too. I want the opportunity. I'm a hometown guy, and I'll try to do my very best.
Thank you. The number one issue facing this community, in my opinion, beyond the division, which is self-inflicted, is the immense poverty. And we've talked about that. We're one of the most financially challenged communities in the state of North Carolina. And again, I want to go back to, we have done a injustice to ourselves and to our community. God has worked miracles through this community, through our council members. And I'm not sticking up for all the council members. I'm not saying everybody's perfect. We have a lot of division. We do. And it's, again, self-inflicted. God has worked miracles in this community. Look at the building we're in right here. Look at what's happening, the transformation that is happening. We're not recognizing what God's doing for us. And that's my opinion. Okay? We're not celebrating the successes, the victories. Again, this is just the kids in the back, the Explorer Post Cadets, but we have JROTC, we have football team, we have basketball, we have all those things. And so going forward, the opportunity is there. We have seized the opportunity. It didn't just fall into our lap. We have systematically put things in place: water, sewer, waterfront development, Highway 64, all for our kids, for the next generation. Because, quite frankly, we already know these businesses on 64 are importing massive numbers of employees right now. Y'all know that. And we don't have the housing stock now. So that's part of that natural growth. There are efforts afloat right now to build new neighborhoods and apartment complexes in Plymouth. The Food Lion Shopping Center is undergoing, that's owned by a Fortune 500 company in America. They're reading, so y'all know, they're reading Facebook right now. They've already told me that. They may have lost another Fortune 500 company that's going to go to the big building in the back because of this. Okay? It's undergoing a massive renovation. They're doing that, and with the intention of filling every one of those spaces. Are our people going to be prepared? That's up to us to make sure that they are. So there is a transformation that's taking place. I think it's very important that we recognize it, that we support it, and I have given every ounce of 24/7. There's nobody in this room, nobody zooming in doesn't know that my wife and I are 24/7, and we have not given our hearts and souls effectively. The results are there. The results speak for themselves. As far as the $4.5 million waterfront miniature golf project, I'm the one that made the phone calls to Raleigh on the bonding issue to get that straightened out. And it was a state that weighed in and said it was illegal to do it that way. I'm the one that did that. So thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Okay, so we thank you guys for coming out tonight and sharing with us some of the goals that you plan to implement. We pray that you will be successful in your endeavors. You should get a seat. And keep in mind that you're going to need to be working with each other in order to make things happen. It's not a one-man show, so everybody has to come together to do that. We thank you for coming out, though, and sharing what you have. And we invite you to come back out on tomorrow night, so that you can see the candidates and maybe introduce yourself to the candidates and the people that are going to be on tomorrow night. Thank you. At this time, we're going to take about a 5-minute break and allow the candidates for council from Ward 1 to come up.
Please get the pizza. Thank you.
Okay.
Just checking, man.
Oh, no, good.
I'm sure someone probably done that. And that's not been taken, because I didn't hear anything about it. You know.
And I said, stop during the meeting. I said, I'm just telling you. You asked me what I was telling you. Okay, so we're ready to get started with part two. If I can ask all the council candidates to come up to the table. All the council candidates, if you will at this time, come to the table. Okay, so welcome. I'm gonna just go over the ground rules with you guys, with you ladies. For this part of the session. Okay, the essential ground rules for a candidate forum are designed to ensure fairness, transparency, and non-partisan atmosphere for both candidates and the audience. These guidelines help maintain order and promote informative discussion throughout the event. All candidates for a given office were invited. So I see we only have 2 out of 5 in Ward 1. Equal time must be given to each candidate to respond to questions with the timekeeper signaling the time. Our timekeeper is right here. And myself being the moderator will guide the question and answer session, ensuring a smooth flow. Let's promote a positive atmosphere. Candidates will be allowed to speak without interruption, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. All candidates will receive the same thoughtful questions, allowing room for follow-ups while maintaining fairness with response times. Each candidate will have 2 minutes for their opening statement, 2 minutes for their answers, and 2 minutes for their closing remarks. We encourage the audience to show respect and patience throughout the event. Let's make it an excellent experience for everyone. Okay? Now, I don't know who you are, so I'm going to ask each one of you to introduce yourself and start with your opening statements.
Good evening. I'm Doncina Teal, Councilwoman of Ward 1. I am glad to be here tonight. I was born here in Plymouth, North Carolina, have lived here most of my life. I attended Plymouth High School, Elizabeth City State, University of Phoenix, and ECU. So I have 2 bachelor's and a master's. I am very, very concerned about the town of Plymouth, the state that is in it. We want to see growth. We want to see our youth grow. We want to see better development here in the town of Plymouth, and that's what we've been working toward. No, we don't just jump on anything. We research and research to make sure that the fit is for the town of Plymouth. I am excited about the forum. I'm excited about the campaign, even though there's been a lot of negativity, because I am a positive person. So I always look for the glass half full rather than the glass half empty. And right now we are still half full. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michael Weathersby, and I have been in Plymouth pretty much my whole life. I grew up in Darden's. We had a Janesville address and a Plymouth phone number. My first job was here actually at the Pizza Hut at the old location. I'm married to my husband, Charles Weathersby. Together we own Big Al's Garage, and we have served the community for 20 years through that business. We have 4 children here, 2 children in heaven. I have different college experiences as well. But the main thing that I want to see for Plymouth and why I'm running is because we need unity. There's been too much division. We need to have something for our youth because they have nothing here. And I would really like to see some economic development downtown. Thank you.
Thank you. Question number 1. What actions would you suggest the council take to tackle the ongoing staffing issues in law enforcement that have persisted for years?
We have already started that to facilitate or put things in place to help draw more police officers here in the town of Plymouth. When the current chief took office, it was only 4 police officers, including myself. Now we have 6. And that's growth. And then we have some students at BLET classes that have promised to come here. So we have up the benefits, up the pay, so that it'll look more competitive to our neighboring counties or our neighboring cities to have people come. And it's amazing how if you up the pay, how it makes a big difference. The benefits are comparable to everybody else, but so is the pay finally. And we will treat our police with respect.
So the first thing that I would do in regards as our police department is I think that training needs to be established. They need to have proper training of how to handle certain situations, how to work together, and how to work with the community. The second thing I think needs to happen is how they follow up with the community. There's been a lot of complaints about how people call and they don't have routine follow-up. And that's an issue. If you call the police, you want to hear back from them. You want them to know that they care about what's going on in your situation. I can speak for that personally. The other thing is that before there was an issue with being able to properly maintain and just go through patrolling, I've suggested that there be some type of community watch program where we utilize some of our retired veterans, our retired law enforcement of that nature to be able to monitor some of our neighborhoods. Maybe each ward could have a group to be able to do that and report to one or two people of those wards, and then those people refer back to the chief. And that would establish more community awareness and safety that we have going on. It'll eliminate so much of the police having to do some of those things. They can also help out with, like, if there's a funeral or something like that and they have to block off roads, they could also assist with that. So that's what I would do.
So I understand that you guys represent Ward 1, or the Ward 1 area here in Plymouth. What area does that cover? That's not one of your questions, but I want to know what area that covers.
So Ward 1 is the even numbers on Washington Street and over. That also goes all the way from 3.5 Street, 4th Street, Bowser, all the way over to Andrews. You have Jackson Heights, you have Quail, White City. You have all the way by the ballpark as well, Matt Ransom, General Pettigrew.
So you're basically in this vicinity right here, where the downtown area starts?
No, ma'am.
No?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is this Washington Street? No, this is what? Washington Street. So who covers what?
Ward 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Ward 2. Okay. So you're not in the downtown area?
No.
Okay. Okay, so how would you help small business owners and entrepreneurs grow and develop to boost economic progress? How would you help small business owners, if you got the seat and you've been in the seat, going forward? How would you help small business owners and entrepreneurs grow and develop to boost economic progress?
In order to boost economic progress, you have to advertise. So I think advertisement, especially on social media now, because almost everybody is there, as well as on the highway, there should be advertisement about the businesses that are downtown, because, you know, people usually don't come downtown just to come downtown. They have to have a reason to come downtown. And word of mouth. If you tell people, people gonna want to see what you're talking about. So they're gonna come downtown. So advertisement, whether it be social media, word of mouth, whatever, it is essential in order to make those businesses flourish.
Okay, but would the council department do advertising for business owners? What are you gonna do?
I don't think the council can do that. I don't think as council, as me as an individual, I could. But I don't think as council we could say go to this business, and we would have to advertise for every business, because you want to be equal, you want to be fair. So we would have to advertise for every business. Now, if we put a sign on 64 with all the businesses downtown, then that would be the advertisement.
And that would answer part of my question.
Okay.
Okay, I want to know from you guys, from you ladies, how would you help these small businesses that are already here trying to thrive? And anyone that's interested in coming in and opening up small businesses in your town, how you want to help them grow and develop an economic progress? If they come into your town, what do you have to offer them to help them grow?
That's I don't know question. Other than us, going to these businesses and, spreading the word about these businesses, that's all we can do. As far as small other businesses, inviting other businesses in, we will have to go to the planning board and the board of adjustment to get, their input on that. That's how we get businesses in, is first they start planning and the board of adjustments, and unless, they would try that way if it needs to be rezoned. Other than that, that's how we get businesses here.
So Saturday I went out to canvas, and as y'all know, it was raining. And so I went to some of the actual local businesses downtown, the Roanoke Heron. I also went to the Unique Boutique, and I started my Christmas shopping and my birthday shopping, to be honest. And while I was there, the Unique Boutique, I know some of the ladies that are running that and owning that. And I was like, what are your hours? So, because I had just been thinking about them and they hadn't always been open. And so they were telling me some of the issues. So part of it is going into the businesses and actually creating community in that environment. So I went in and I talked to them about some of their hours, and they work full time trying to make their dream happen. So I was like, look, my kid just got hired on at the Roanoke Heron. So maybe you could see if you have any youth in your church that would like to have a job and be able to hire them to run some extra hours for you. That again helps with our youth, but also helps with the business. And I was talking to them about marketing online, which Ms. Teal is right. It's a huge market out there to use online marketing because it's free. And so I was like, are you making posts? What does your post look like? Are you showcasing this over here? Because they have a lot of Black Bear things. And, you know, we have the Black Bear Festival. What are you showcasing and what are you pushing? And as I was noticing, I looked at their page. I'm a follower. Like, they are posting, but their following was small of who is actually following. So you can push all day long, but if you're not reaching with the same small circle, then you're not really being able to grow. So as I told them, I said, look, you need to reach out. You know, what I would do is reach out to the Roanoke Heron, reach out to Bearology, reach out to the local Current, etc. Some of the other small businesses that are downtown, and y'all start pushing each other, like sharing each other's posts, and that way it's reaching other markets, and we're building a community.
Did we not answer?
I'm sorry.
We didn't answer your question.
Did we answer your question?
But we'll come back to it in a
Okay.
minute. How do you engage the community in decision making about economic development projects? How would you engage the community? How would you inform us about the decision making in economic development projects? Okay, Ms. Weathersby?
Yes, ma'am. So as I've been walking around and talking to everybody, it seems like the consensus around town is that there's not been enough communication, and they're wanting to. I think personally it would not be a bad thing for the representatives of the wards, since we're broken down into wards, that we don't meet with our community in our area, our ward, and see what are some of the things that they want What are some of the concerns that they see in some of these areas? So that they have a voice, we're listening to them, we're respecting them, we're inviting them into the conversation because we have a lot of intelligent people in our town that have ideas, that have thought processes. That would be extremely helpful for us if we would just take time to listen, hear them, and then apply some of that to what we can actually do.
Doing good. Good job. Okay, so the question is, how would you engage the community in decision making about economic development projects? You guys are having a meeting, you're in the seat. So how did you let the people know what you have going on? How are you listening to the meetings?
Oh, that's been the worst. Trying to get people to the meeting, it could be railway meeting because there's not enough room for a lot of people. Maybe we need to change our venue because we do announce our meetings on Facebook. We do, it's in the paper, it's on the town page and all. So we do make people aware of our meetings. But trying to get people out has been really, really hard. Sometimes we have 6 people at a meeting and the community cannot decide on something if they're not involved. So what we're trying to do is just put it more out there on social media because, social media really blows up everything. Notifications and their water bills, whatever we can do to get our community out to know what's going on before it happens. When we find out about it, we want them to know about it. So we try to advertise as much as possible on the social media. And it's a shame we got to go that way, but we do. It's in the newspaper and it's on the town page. So did you want to know what I would do personally? What I would do personally is maybe put a flyer in my car and ride around in Ward 1 saying we're meeting tonight. No, but word of mouth is the best in Ward 1, the best way of communicating. Maybe get it to the churches so they can announce it that there's going to be a council meeting. So there's different ways to reach people, but it's been slack.
Okay. So you say that your space is not large enough for a mid-sized to large group of people. What suggestions would you have for a new venue? Giving people space so that they can come. And then if they don't come after you've tried every effort to get them there, then you can say, well, we have plenty of room, but no one shows up. Now you're saying we don't have enough space and we only have about 6 people or how many of people that come out. How are you getting the word out? Some people don't have Facebook. So how would you go around Facebook? You put it on the water bills. And I know that our culture are not readers. So.
And that's when you go to put, our culture is, they are religious, so they're going to go to church. So if you send the announcements to the churches, then they would hear about it. And when I say our facility is not large enough, it was like last night, it was standing room only. And after a while, you're going to go against the fire code and we're going to get in trouble. So we have met here a couple of times. We met at Ag Extension a couple of times. So there are options that we could take to have more people to be seated comfortably.
Okay. How would you get people in there?
If they need a ride, they can call you. No, other than, notifications, that's all, we've been trying different ways. We've had different ways we've been trying to communicate with people to let them know exactly when it is, what time it is, and, let them know that they can come out. Like I said, right now we're meeting in the back of the police department. A lot of people don't like to be there. And so they don't come because of where it is. When we come here, we usually have a great crowd to come out. So that's a difference, that's a difference. It's not that they don't know, they just don't want to meet in that facility.
Okay, so being council women, Kansas, if you are voted into the office or you remain into the office, how do you determine what constitutes economic success for the town? And what strategies would you implement to reach it? How would you determine what constitutes economic success for the town? And what strategies, what goals do you have? What visions do you have to implement that has?
The first thing we need to do is to investigate what's needed in the town of Plymouth. As you see, a lot is needed, but that doesn't mean everybody needs to come here. They don't have the heart of Plymouth at hand. So we have to talk to the people who are trying to come and see what their mission is, what they want, how will they fit in the town of Plymouth. If we find a company or a business that fits the town of Plymouth, then that's what we investigate. That's what we encourage. And we will reach out to that company and see what they need from us to come here and be successful. We don't need a fly-by-night kind of business coming in. We need someone who's going to come in and that's going to help Plymouth to grow, which means there's going to be job opportunities for the people that are unemployed right now and help develop our town, which will bring funds to our town. We're having a good time. Okay. You are.
We're trying to have a good time here. Okay. So to me, what constitutes economic success for the town would mean that we're not pulling into our budgets too early, that we actually have more money than we have problems. Okay. And right now, that has not been something that we've had. And that's been for many reasons. Okay. So what I think needs to be done, one of the ways to fix that and resolve that is to reach out to businesses and investors, to be able to showcase some of our available buildings that we have, so that they would be interested to come in, partner with us, tell them how we can partner with them. Like if our community starts shopping at some of our businesses downtown and our businesses in town, like they'll be able to stay open longer. They'll be able to hire more people because there'll be more hours. Like it's got to take community and us coming together for us to make our town better. Businesses alone is not going to do it. We have to be willing to, we have to be a community that says, hey, we want you here. We want to support you. We want to invest in you just as you are investing in us. And I think that investors like Mr. Pittman's come in and we've got 3 new businesses now. One of them is helping other people follow their dreams and their hobbies, Roanoke Herring. There's a little vendor market in there. I mean, that's investing back into the community so that if everybody's investing in each other, we're building that bond that we can actually build on and make something better out of Plymouth.
Okay, so listening to your statements and the mayoral statements, I hear that there's a lot going on with the lack of funds. And so my question is, who's responsible, or do you have a committee that handles grant locating grants? Do you have a committee that actually look for funding to help the businesses in your town of Plymouth? In helping the businesses, you want to be able to offer them different areas of, say for one, law enforcement, safety, patrolling, just patrolling the area will make them comfortable enough to want to work for. Not necessarily just giving them money, but little things like making them safe in their atmosphere, in what they're trying to do, to benefit them and the town of Plymouth. So my question to you is, it's obvious that we don't have anyone to look for funds. That's one thing needs to be done. Put that in action. Put it in action. Come together and as a council, group of council people, and see if you can get someone in your town administration to look for funding. There's a lot of funding down here, and this some funding automatically comes to county.
We live off of grants.
You live off of grants. That's
We're
what
experts.
I'm speaking of.
We're experts on grants. So I'm going to help the folks out there.
Thank you.
It's extremely. We're very well versed on grants. And that we do everything we can to make sure that we never spend money.
Okay. So now, in your closing remarks, I would like to hear your primary goal of your candidacy, and how do you plan to achieve whatever your goal is? If you win the seat, what's your goal once you get into that seat? And how do you plan to achieve it? Okay? You want to take it back to the board and y'all have a meeting and whatever. Let me know what your goal is. Go ahead, Ms. Silvers.
If you don't mind, I would just like to be able to point out something. I'm actually taking grant writing classes and nonprofit classes so that I am more aware of the process, because I do think that as council members, we do need to have some type of history and background with how this works. Okay. So if I was to be elected as your Ward 1 representative, my main thing, yes, we all have plans for Plymouth of how to do better, how to grow our businesses. But the fact is, though, is that the division that's been happening in our town has been detrimental. So the first thing we got to do is we got to start unifying. And it's a little easy to say, well, unity's not going to take everything. It's not. It has to be simultaneous. We've got to be working on building as well as coming together, because that's the only way that it's going to happen. So first off, communication has got to start picking up. I know we were talking about it before, and it didn't get back to me because I'd already answered it, but I thought of this. Like, I know Ms. Teal was saying about bringing some of these announcements to our churches, but also, like, most of our churches, like, some of us don't go to church here. And so I think a phone tree I don't know how many of your churches still use a phone tree to tell you what's on the prayer request or any emergencies that's happening, but it's highly effective and you don't have to go out to receive it. But opening up avenues for us to be able to communicate together as one, being able to bring our wards together, our communities together, hearing them, because a lot of them don't feel like they're being heard. I would like to be able to open up to where we can meet with people. There's a lot of people in our town that know of things that we don't know. We don't know everything. And we don't have to. If y'all have 30 years of electrician, why do I have to know electrician? Thank you. If I am reelected to the town council, it is my desire first, like Michael said, is to bring forth unity. We need all three wards to work together for the betterment of Plymouth. And not only for downtown, but for the entire town. And that's what I want to do. I want to bring the entire town together so that we can build together, we can grow together, and it can be done. Yet, we have not been able to do it, especially with this election. There's been a lot of negative things said, like I said previously. But we have to become positive people. You are what you do. And if you are a positive person, you're going to push for positivity. And that's what I push for, positivity. And for us to unite and grow. Not only one or two, let everybody get a little piece of it. It'll be good for everybody. Let's talk. If you have something you want the council to do, let us know. We can't read your mind. Well, I can anyway. So it's best to say what you need. Write it down on a piece of paper. Leave it at the town office. Let us know. I got an idea that's going to help the town of Plymouth. Let us know. And we'll do our best to get it done. Thank you.
All right, we thank you for your answers. We thank you for coming out tonight. And I agree with them. Whoever you vote for, not just because they're a friend of a friend of a friend, or because they're your favorite person, or because of their race, or you go to church with them, or whatever the case may be, make sure that they have a vision for your town. Make sure that they are going to be ones that's going to be looking to correct some issues in your town. And most importantly, make sure that they're going to be transparent. Because in order to be in a unified community, you have to be able to communicate with each other. You have to be able to communicate in order to get along. And I can hate you and still work with you. Understand? So just make sure that you vote for someone that's going to help your town. Get to know who your candidates are and interact with them. And the candidates, make sure you let people know who you are so that they'll know who they're voting for and what you're standing for. Again, we thank you all for coming out tonight. Go out and tell a friend, tell a neighbor. We will be back here same time tomorrow night with a different group of folk. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. 6 o'clock.
Yeah, man. Oh, nah, man, this takes a little bit of doing. You're welcome.